Ooh, we're on the wrong one. There we go. All right, streaming games for the first time. Are we going? Yeah, we're going. I see it. Okay. Streaming games for the first time in a long time. I don't even have my microphone set up properly here. Let's get that fixed. All right. Okay, yeah, I'm doing some games this week, but as usual, before we jump into doing games and stuff, we're gonna do some housekeeping. Oh boy, that's how we get a click-through rate or retention. That's how we get retention on these videos. Is rather than jumping right into the content, we jump into talking about changes and shit to my system. Sounds good, right? Anyone who got this in their recommended feed is now no longer interested because I would rather do housekeeping instead. So, it's been a little while since I have done a game stream. And after my last game stream, where's the right one? There we go. After my last game stream, which was not late, I know! Actually, I clicked start a minute early, but I guess by the time you actually saw it, it was right on time. So there we go. Anyways, last time I had done a game stream, which was actually about a month ago at this point. Right after I'd finished that stream, there was something I had realized that I need to change about my system here that I'm doing. So obviously my whole PACBUT system thing is supposed to be grading games objectively, and I am doing a huge disservice to any game that I play when I decide to choose what I've been calling game journalist difficulty, or in other words, putting it to the easiest possible difficulty. That's doing a huge disservice to the balance, unless obviously the game is intended to be played that way. But most of the time, Alone for Christmas, and it's not. It's well, I'll get back to you in just a moment. So for balancing, unless the game was like developed around it being played on easy mode, most of the time the game has been balanced around a specific difficulty, and that's usually going to be normal or whatever the developer considers to be the default difficulty. And so if I'm going to be grading the game objectively, I should be playing the game on the intended balance of the game. The whole reason why I started even doing game journalist difficulty in the first place was because it's not fun. Like it's a toss-up between being entertaining and being objective, and we have to make a sacrifice here. Because obviously the reason why I chose game journalist difficulty in the first place is because it's not fun, watching someone replay the same section over and over and over and over again. The heater's on. So I wanted to make sure that I was always making forward progress in the game instead of forcing you guys to have to re-watch the same thing over and over again. And that was the whole reason why I chose game journalist difficulty ever in the past. That was the only reason. But if I want to be objective with the grading system, then I shouldn't do that. So that's the first change, is that I'm no longer going to be playing the game on game journalist difficulty. However, I will not be retroactively going back through all the games that I've played just to adjust the balancing. So as you can see here, I've added a break through the grading system to denoting where I have now started taking balancing more into consideration. So that's the first change. Now to answer your question, Fortuna, no, I'm not alone for Christmas. However, Christmas is not a real important holiday here in Japan. No one really cares about Christmas. I mean, they have to them it's like the funny, quirky Western holiday. It's not a big thing, but they know about it and they like to pretend to celebrate it, but it's not really a big deal to them. So people don't take Christmas Day off in Japan. Like, you still work Christmas Day because it doesn't mean anything to them. However, I do have plans tomorrow, which is Christmas Day. So I'm not going to be alone, but for Christmas Eve, no, I got nothing. I got games. I picked up some good games. I guess that's the next thing. This is a good transition into the next thing I want to talk about. I have regularly talked about not wanting to be as much of an asshole on these streams. It's a work in progress. It's not going to happen overnight because, you know, it's a combination of different things, from the fact of just trying to be entertaining on stream. Sometimes blood in the water is more fun than a straight edge. Second of all, it's not filtered, right? Like, if you take time to write out your thoughts and consider your thoughts and phrase them better, like, you could take the same criticism and frame it two entirely different ways. They may be pointing out the same problem with the game, but it's sort of the way that you've presented it, where one sounds well considered and the other one just sounds like someone being an asshole. And it's much easier for most people, I think, to just lean towards, I wouldn't say calling it an asshole, but just saying the thoughts as they come to your head, and as they naturally come to your head, they may come off as harsh, because they're not as well considered. And that's the thing about being live, is obviously I don't have time to consider and filter my thoughts. I just speak the words as they come up. However, I think with some practice and some time, we can improve that overall, which is something I'm trying to do. So, of course, that's the other thing. I did talk, Fortuna, you might remember this. Last week I did talk about this. In the past, in my past streams, I have said, I need you guys to call me out when I start being an asshole too much, because it's very easy for me to get kind of swept up in the moment, where I will just, I'll just snowball with it. Like, I start nitpicking one thing, and that just leads into me nitpicking more and more and more, and I gradually just throughout just like a 10-minute span go from minor annoyance to being a complete fucking asshole about everything. So that's where I need you guys to help me out and call me out when I do that kind of shit. You can just be like, Nolan, you're being an asshole right now, shut up. And I'll be like, huh, you're right. So please continue to do that. I've mentioned in the past in streams, and I want to continue mentioning it here. Just call me out when I'm being an asshole. And then, yep, that's the other thing. Speaking of picking good games, I don't necessarily know if they're good games. But they are games that are getting more traction than what I typically pick for the games that I play on these streams. In the past, I'd always pick games that I deliberately sought out games that were getting like not a lot of traction, like there's not a lot of comments or anything, because I wanted to try to give some attention to them. And I think that ideology is somewhat flawed as well. I'll get into that in just a moment, why I think so. However, I've now changed that decision to picking out some games that are already getting some attention, because even if they are getting some attention on itch.io, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're like popular or anything. So they definitely are getting way more attention than the games that I typically pick. However, I think they're still pretty much very, very indie games, and they definitely feel like it. So hopefully that's good. Or hopefully that means that they'll be good games. The reason why I think it's sort of flawed, my intent of picking games that have basically no interaction on them at all, in a perfect world, that I think that's a good idea. However, we're living in streamer world where I just talked about being an asshole, and this is what it comes down to. Imagine you've been waiting for the day that someone finally acknowledges your hard work, and the first person to acknowledge your hard work, is someone telling you how terrible your game is. it's demoralizing. I don't want them to feel like they should stop making games. That's not the goal here. So if my videos were like scripted or more, well, if they were videos and not live streams, then sure, that's probably not a terrible thing to do. However, because of what I was just talking about, of coming off as an asshole, I really think what ultimately happens is I'm not really helping them. In some cases, I'm not really helping them. Instead, I'm just demoralizing them and making them feel worse, right? So that's the thought process that's gone on here. This is why I think that idea I had before is a little bit flawed. There was someone in the past, I'm not going to call out which game it is, that I do think I kind of got under, like, I think I really demoralized the dev. He actually wound up deleting my comment and my review on his store page. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a couple of people actually in the past that have that they don't even they don't even talk to me. They may have potentially blocked me. So yeah, I think that's just what it kind of comes down to, is that it's demoralizing when it's the first bit of acknowledgement that they have, and it's negative. So that's the other thing with these games that are getting a little bit more traction, is think of it this way: when there's only one review that makes up 100% of all of the reviews on your game, and that one review is negative, that sucks. If one review only makes up 5% of your total reviews, that it's much easier to ignore that, right? So that was kind of my thought process here, is that I'll go into games that are getting a little bit more traction, and that means even if I am an asshole, it's probably a lot easier for the devs to just kind of ignore any of my asshole-ish tendencies. So yeah, I think that about covers everything I wanted to talk about. So we can finally jump into this with the first game. Oh, there's one last thing. This is not really housekeeping, but that's just for this stream. I did notice while picking up these games that the itch comment section are just utter garbage. I thought spam was bad on YouTube, but seriously, the amount of spam that is popping up in the itch.io comments of some of these games is ridiculous. And most of them are posting GIFs to like adult games that are like totally uncensored. So like I'm not even going to risk scrolling down these pages, because God forbid just a fucking pixel of these GIFs, pop up on my screen, then this whole stream is going to be TOS'd into the fucking ground. So with that said, we're not going to be looking at the store pages for these games. I will show you the top of the store page here, like what you can see, but I'm not scrolling down whatsoever. So what you see here is what you get. So it's the first, and actually, hang on just a second. I want to make sure that all of these have been scrolled up to the top. Okay, they are. They're all at the top of the page. Good. All right, so this first game is Our Long Walk Home, which is RPG Maker, and it looks interesting. So it says, home, a dying breeze in the peripherals of my vision to chase until the end of time. Our Long Walk Home is a surreal horror RPG about a student caught in an infinitely repeating walk home as their world crumbles around them. A story about expectations, reflections, and a missing half. Features full of abstract hand-animated cutscenes, 1-bit dithered pixel art style mostly. Atmospheric and ambient music, average 45-minute playthrough, available for free for Windows and Mac. So, anyways, all right.
Let's find the game here and we'll launch it.
Z to interact, arrow keys to move, shift to run, hold escape to exit the game. Hold escape? Really? Oh yeah, wow, that's interesting. Can you do that by default in RPG Maker? Was I just not aware of that? That you could just hold escape and it'll exit the game? I'm pretty sure looked at some R18 games on itch due to those spams. Yeah. So it's nice that they at least put the controls here at the beginning. I'm guessing it just launches into that because it's going to go right into the... Oh, no. It's not going to go right into the game. But looks like my only choice is start. It would be kind of nice if the cursor, like, had some sort of movement to it, because right now this just looks like a still image. Or even if it blinked. But... you know, it's not a big deal. Would be nice though if there's options.
The art is pretty nice looking.
It's got a pretty unique style to it. Vaguely anime, but kind of like doodle art. Something you draw on like in your notebook at school.
Oh, I didn't start the timer. Oops. That's okay. No problem. Get a little bit of extra time out of it.
Alright. Looks like I can move. Okay, so there's no menu. Yeah, they replaced the menu with that escape thing. I'm glad it's not just tap escape to close the game, because I would have already closed the game. Move the mouse cursor. There's some nice ambience. Can you talk to people? Sort of. What is that? Is that a face? I can't tell if that's a face. It kind of looks like a medal. Like you have the two, like these are the ribbon here, and then like this is the medal. There's even sparkles around it too. I think it's a medal. Oh, that's a person. They look like more like a tiki torch with like a head on it, maybe. They all show you the gold medal. I guess I'm an Olympic winner. Apparently you can't walk over that paper. Okay. How's the game volume? Just noticed that I just noticed that the piano was kind of loud in my headphones. Huh?
I don't get the point. They just stop you for no reason. It's like a Pokemon encounter, but you never do the battle. You just get stopped. Alright. So this is going to be one of those games where they like to do the... I just tried using WASD, of course. Where they want to do the vague, open-ended storytelling. Really not a fan of that. Sometimes it often just starts to feel like lazy. It doesn't feel like it's well considered. It's like, I didn't really want to put in the effort of actually writing a real story, so I'm going to use the excuse that it's open-ended and vague. Yeah, here we go. It's like... You're not allowed to cross the street. Can you... Don't tell me you can cross the street here, though. Oh, you can cross the street at the crosswalk. Okay, now I have people following me. I don't know why I'm interacting with every NPC that I come across. It's all the same every single time. Just the little medal, the little medallion. Is another person gonna follow us? Nope. Just more vague storytelling, trying to interpret whatever these very low-res pixel graphics are trying to tell us. It looked like he was looking at this, whatever this is. Whatever this corner piece, glass or whatever. I don't know. Did it just lighten up? If I go back this way. Am I crazy? I think I'm crazy. Alright. Wait. It's not my glasses, right? No, there's like a bloom going on now. Looks like my glasses are like smudged or something. But it seems to be getting progressively bloomier. Oh, okay, and then, okay, alright. So we're just walking them home? Okay, right on. Oh, I guess we'll go across the crosswalk. At one of these crosswalks, am I gonna get hit by a car? Is that what's gonna happen? It's funny, it takes a moment for the bloom effect to load in. Yeah, here's what I'm gonna say too about like vague open-ended storytelling. Like sometimes, I mean, there's a lot of reasons why I suppose it's worked in games like Dark Souls. I'm not even a fan of it necessarily in Dark Souls, but we'll give it a pass because, you know, it has its legacy. And I will say that I think a lot of times, a lot of the vague storytelling is only told when you want to interact with it. It kind of sucks when you're forced to like watch something that gives you like, it doesn't want to give you any leeway on understanding what's happening. And you're also just forced to watch it. It's kind of like, I don't really want to engage with it because I don't know. I don't know what any of it means. It's just vague storytelling that is like trying to be deep. But I'm not interested in trying to figure out what it means if it doesn't want to tell me what it wants to tell me. Or even give... It doesn't have to tell me... Like, it doesn't need to just... It doesn't need to paint it, like... It doesn't need to paint it clearly. You don't have to treat me like I'm dumb. But... I wish it would give me a little bit more than... Maybe the boy at the beginning is dead. I mean, I guess we can assume that all the bloominess that's going on is it's like heaven or the afterlife. But I don't know. I kind of feel like I need a little bit more than what's been going on so far. We'll see if that changes, but I have a feeling that it's not. This game's giving me the vibe that it's not going to change how it presents itself. And spooky music. Okay. I kind of wanted to go to the bed first, but oh well. And that was a thing. Yeah. That's about how I feel. Thinking. Symbols. What are we gonna play as the boy now? Mysterious symbols. Loud noises and more mysterious symbols. Can I play? Is that what's going on now? Okay. So what if I don't want to go? What if I don't want to follow him? Looks like I don't get a choice. That kind of looked like the beginning hallway. This is going to be one of those kind of, yeah, do it in a loop kind of thing. Okay, alright. Did they do anything? Oh, no. Oh, now they're turning away. And they don't do anything? Okay. Yeah, so if not a lot has changed, and I'm not gonna bother talking to all the NPCs. It is interesting they changed the sound of the birds, though. I appreciate that touch. Okay. And all the followers have disappeared. Now there's a copy of me following me. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've seen something like this quite often. Not necessarily like just the clones following you, but I don't know. Just the way that it's handled, its vague symbolism of things. I feel like I've just seen it all before. I think that's a problem because there's nothing necessarily wrong with treading water that's already been tread in the past, but if all you have going for your game is not even a story, it's just vague open-ended interactions, you better damn well make sure those vague interactions, open-ended interactions, they're not even open-ended, sorry, that paints the wrong picture. Those vague interactions with open-ended storytelling, you better hope that actually comes off as like novel, and it's not feeling very novel to me is the thing. And when that's the only thing that this game has going for it, not necessarily true, sorry, let me cut myself off, it's not the only thing this game has going for it. I do like the art is nice, the animations are pretty unique. And it's probably the only thing that's keeping me going. The music's okay. It's not like something I would jam out to, but it serves its purpose very well. Also, jam out's probably the wrong word to use there. It's not something that I would listen to myself. Why are her hands transparent? That's weird. Vague symbols! Don't give D7 a Persona-like game, and yeah, not applicable with a vague storytelling. Yeah, I'm not particularly a fan of vague open-ended storytelling. Again, I just want to reiterate the point here, though, that it's not necessarily a problem with the vague storytelling. It's just that I feel like often people use it as a crutch for not really considering their stories very well, because they can just use the excuse, oh, it's up to interpretation, rather than actually putting in the effort to actually write something good, right? There can be good open-ended stories. I'm not saying that those don't exist. Those definitely can exist. But you still have to make sure that you're putting a lot of thought and effort into how it presents itself. And I think one of the biggest challenges is making sure that it's still accessible to the person who's trying to enjoy your story. Because obviously you can put a lot of thought into the symbols, but if those symbols can't mean anything to the viewer or the player, the listener, the whatever they are, whatever medium you're trying to tell your vague story through, then I don't know. If they can't figure out what it means, then you're just alienating them from appreciating your story. The only symbol that I guess, I think is we can probably interpret as fairly easy to understand is obviously the use of the yin-yang sign. But even still, like, there's the ways that you can interpret yin-yang. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not clicking with it. You tell me. You tell me. Have you been watching? What do they say now? It's just copies of the main character. Just a muted whoop. But you tell me, am I just not getting it? Are you clicking with this story? Oh no, the character... Oh, we are gonna get run over, aren't we? Not a vague storytelling client. Alright. I'm disappointed the birds aren't here. I was hoping to hear how they changed the bird's voice now. It's these times where it just stops you so you can watch something play out. They're so slow too. That's probably just me being... I'm almost certain that's me being impatient, but still. I wish these would move just a little bit faster. Was that a death or was that just... I can't tell with this game. Because it looks like it rewound time back to like a checkpoint. But I don't know if that was a death. Do you have to look at yourself? Okay. So that's what it was trying to tell me earlier. So, what a weird point in this game to start having like gameplay mechanics. Up until this point, there had been no indication that there was really anything beyond walk. And now all of a sudden there's actually a gameplay mechanic. So that's a little bit confusing. And I don't know how much of a purpose it really serves, if I'm being honest. It's like, just make sure that you tap the car whenever you pass by one. to slow down. Like there's not a lot of consideration behind that choice, and there's not a lot to like prevent you from not executing, from not talking to a car or whatever, interacting with a car. Am I gonna fucking die just as I'm talking about how easy it is? No, okay, there we go. Alright, here we go again. Going through the loop again. See, this is another thing too, right? Like, you see a lot of horror do this whole thing with loops, right? I think it was in... See, I never played any of the Silent Hills, but I think it was one of the Silent Hills that did something like that. Not for the whole game, but for a portion of it. And for sure, PT did it. I didn't play PT, but I watched my friend play PT. I watched him play it a couple of times, actually. Is that the end, or is there going to be another loop? Alright, I think it's going to be another loop. Well, it's definitely not exactly the same. Oh, it's not even a full loop, actually. This is like that last room of the loop. Big moment of solitude? What are you talking about? Oh no, there's gonna be another loop. Here we go. It's... Why can't you walk over the papers? Oh my god, if you're gonna throw all this shit on the floor, let's make sure the player can walk over it. Okay, I see. So now we're gonna find a pond. Let's see if there's more interest to this mechanic now that we're in like a field. It's gonna be harder to find a pond, or is it just gonna be to my left or right and I just interact with it whenever I see it? Looks like it's just gonna be to my left or right whenever I see a pond. So again, not really deep or interesting game choice. I don't understand the point of it other than just annoying the player. Like, there's not a lot compelling to it, and I don't even see, like, if the point was about her reflecting on herself, I don't think you need to have it happen so frequently. Like, you kind of get that point across one time. You could repeat it a second time if you really want, but I don't see the reason why the player needs to find... Why does the player need to find the pond when it could easily just be a scripted moment? This is going on for a long time. I wonder if... Oh, nope. Alright, there we go. Just as I was saying, it was going on for a long time. You reached the end. So far, we've reached the end without getting run over by a car. Hey, that's pretty nice. My prediction was wrong. Well, we'll see. I mean, there's still more to this game. Okay, what do I interact with now? Is it still cars? Alright, I didn't see anything to interact with. So that's fine, I guess, but it's just kind of, again, it's kind of a weird decision because up until this point, they had been showing you what to interact with very clearly. They would rip control out of your hand to show you what you can interact with to restore yourself or whatever. And now suddenly they've decided to change their mind on that. So now it's kind of like I'm kind of confused. They've left me high and dry trying to figure out what they want. So just as I was saying that this was actually a really simple, mindless mechanic, now they've turned it into a puzzle, which is there's nothing wrong with, other than the fact that up until this point they've trained me to do something entirely different than this. So it's kind of like a contradiction in the design. See, before I thought she had interacted with some of those windows, but now I can't seem to interact with them. So am I misremembering? Don't forget to hold shift to run. I'm glad they put that in there. But that is, oh my god. No, don't do that. You never required a moment where I've needed to use run. You've never required a moment where I needed to use it until now when we're how long into this game? I feel like we're getting close to the end. So I don't know what to say, man. It's so weird that now all of a sudden I am required to use sprint when I'd never been required before. So what, am I just sprinting to the end? Is that the goal here? Try to get to the end before I fade away? Was I too slow? This is dumb. How frame accurate do I need to be? I know, thank you, game. Do these, like, restore? No? Okay, that seemed to restore me. Alright. So once again, like I said before, previously... Okay, so these, like, pictures. Okay, so again, what they've trained me to do in this game is that every time they want to use a different object to restore yourself or whatever, they showed me quite clearly what that object was. So they never trained me that I want to interact with photographs to whatever restore myself. And I never know when I'm in a cutscene, right? Like, just all of a sudden it's like control is gone. It'd be nice if there was some sort of, I don't know, like you could have like the letterbox like close in just to kind of indicate, hey, right now you don't have controls. Almost out of time. Let's see if this is the end. Alright, if there's more annoying bullshit, then I'm done with this game. Hopefully now we figured it out. We have sprint and... oh, there's the cars. Alright. We have sprint. We know about pictures now. Cars are back, which they kind of look like... they almost look like JPEGs that have just been like ran through like a two-tone filter. So hopefully we can get through this loop pretty quickly. I really just want to play with one hand, and I can't. Alright, so the house is missing now, so is that the last loop? I'm hoping so. This is gonna, whatever, it's gonna be the last loop for me. So if this isn't the end, then I guess we're just not gonna see the end. Anyone who's curious about what the end is, they can play it themselves. You know all the speedrunning tech now. Don't forget your sprint. And you can interact with black squares on the floor. Those happen to be photographs. All right, here we go. Is this exactly the same? Did it make me repeat this because I did something wrong? Did I need to like enter? Oh, I don't care. Yeah, never mind. All right. Done with it. I'm holding escape. Please. Please close. I can force close you too. I know how to do that. See you later. All right. It's definitely higher quality than a lot of the other games I've played in the past. Accessibility gets a 0. Clarity gets a 0. Balance, sure, it gets a 1. I mean, there was some frustration. I don't know if we'd consider that balance or not, but well, fine, I'll give it 1. It definitely has unique identity, so there we go. It gets a 3. But yeah, like I said, the animations, the artwork, all of that stuff is pretty cool. Music is fine for what it is. My problem is when it comes to my complaint about the vague story, that's very much an opinion of my own. So obviously some people may not share that opinion. What I do think is a little bit more objective here, however, from the vague story is the gameplay aspect, which there were some pretty major inconsistencies with it. Because the game starts off by teaching you that you don't need to do anything in this game, you just need to walk forward and that's it. So then when they introduced some sort of gamey mechanic, I was totally lost. I didn't know they had actually introduced some sort of gameplay mechanic. That gameplay mechanic itself felt more like a nuisance rather than something thoughtful. Until later, which I guess, thankfully, maybe, later it was sort of fixed, where it was like there's a lot longer of a time between places to restore yourself. But that felt really cheap, because up until that point, they had always shown me what it is that I could interact with to restore myself. So when they finally spaced those things out, they also decided that they're not going to show me what you can interact with to restore yourself. And so that just led to frustration and feeling rather annoyed. So I do think that's a little bit more objective here with the game, is that it's just not clear about what it wants. And that's fine if it wants to do that with the story. I don't agree with that for the story, but to each their own. However, gameplay-wise, I do feel like that needs to be fixed. So, yeah. With that said, I think we're done with that one. So next we will go over to not an RPG Maker game. Today there's only 2 RPG Maker games and then 2 Unity games. I actually thought one of them was Unreal because it actually looked pretty nice. The art style and the lighting and all that. I thought it was Unreal, but nope, it's Unity. Both of these Unity games, actually, I kind of play tested a little bit before the stream. And actually, this is something I wanted to do, which I didn't do for all the games, but also something that would kind of make some of the reviewing of these games a little bit it gives me more of a chance to think about what to say and to consider what's important for the game when I'm reviewing it, is playing the games before the stream actually starts. Just a little bit, like 5 minutes or so, just to kind of get a general idea. And that also means we can stick with the 35-minute timer, but I may actually play a little bit more than 35 minutes in total. I didn't do that for this stream. I was thinking about whether I want to do it or not. However, I did play just a little bit of both this game and another game that we're going to play later, which are both Unity games. This game, I don't know how long we're going to play, because I think I ran into a problem that it may be because I'm dumb. It may be because of a problem with the game. I'm not completely sure. I'll need your opinion on that. But anyways, this is Debugger. It says, in Debugger, you will be in charge of physically destroying bugs and glitches that will show up in the form of enemies. This package contains a small demo of the game. You can follow and support the project on Kickstarter. So yeah, it is a Kickstarter project. I think this store page is really terrible for selling your game and your Kickstarter. It's the, the amount of information here is really minimal. So it's like, if you want people to come fund your game, I really hope you have like a social media standing somewhere else that I'm just not aware of. And so hopefully you'll get most of your traction from there. However, as someone who is just randomly browsing itch, this is not selling me on your Kickstarter. But here's the Kickstarter. I guess it's totally fine because it's not even available yet. Like the Kickstarter itself, it's not even available yet. It just says notify me on launch, which I didn't even know you could do on Kickstarter. Like you could like, what would you call that? Like pre-ordering the Kickstarter or something? It's so strange. But anyways, who knows when people will be watching the archive, so I'm going to go ahead and include a link to their Kickstarter alongside their game down in the description. As of this live stream right now, the Kickstarter is not live, so I don't know when it will go live. That's one thing that's also kind of weird about this, like, Kickstarter pre-order thing, whatever, is like there's not even like a date. Like it doesn't give you any sort of indication of when the Kickstarter is going to go live. So is it soon? Is it like this week? Is it next week? Or is it next year? Is it in 3 months? Is it 2024? I don't know. It would be nice to have some sort of indication, even if it was a rough ballpark, like in a quarter or in a few weeks. Like you don't have to have an exact time, but at least a general broad idea would probably go a long ways. But anyways, that's just me. Let's launch the game. And I don't know how long we're going to play because of, like I said, maybe I'm just not figuring out how to quote-unquote debug this game. So, obviously one problem is that it already just launches into the game. It's a demo, it's fine. There's not really options though. You have just controls, it just tells you what the controls are. And I was looking at this earlier to see if I'm missing anything. Because like originally I had missed that there's a dash. This is loud in my headphones. Is it loud for you? No, it seems fine. It actually almost seems quiet. That's probably better. I'm gonna turn it down on my headphones though. Okay. So yeah, I had originally missed the dash because I just thought it was a pretty typical platformer. There's no double jump. So you have this dash. You can squat, I guess. But you can't like do a super jump out of it. Oh. I didn't know you could dash up, so I guess that's new. I don't know if that's gonna help me with my problem. So here's what happens, okay? So I was able to get here and get to that platform. Well, well, alright. Okay, that one was on me. Okay, so, and I can get to that platform just fine. But here, I was never able to make this jump. See, like, it's just barely too tall. And there's not like a double jump. Let's see, now that I've learned that you can dash up, let's see if that will make a difference. Well, okay, if I don't fuck up the jump first. Okay, alright, there we go. Alright, figured it out. So, like, definitely the game needs a tutorial, for sure. Because when I was playing this earlier, it took me a hot minute to figure out how to get over to this platform here. Because I wasn't even aware that there was a dash. I figured out that there was a dash when I finally opened up the escape menu and went to controls and was like, oh shit, there's a dash. That's when I finally figured out how to make that jump. It would also be nice if it told you that you can dash in like any of the 8 directions. Like you have up and diagonal. Because, like I said before, I wasn't even able to make it up to this jump. So, other than the dash, I do wonder what makes this game special. Like, you're playing as a computer guy and there's this apparently, like, supposed to be like a debug theme going... Oh, fuck. Alright, I'm having some trouble here. But to me, it just seems pretty standard fare for a platformer. Something about the movement and like jumping also doesn't feel super great to me. It'd be nice if you had like mouse aim. Because if I wanted to like strafe away from an enemy but shoot behind me, that would definitely make things feel like I have more control over this game. Shit, and the Alright. This feels way more difficult than it needs to be. And that was just like straight up a Yoshi sprite that seemed to have been... Oh, you're right, I did forget the timer. Thanks. Oh, cool, we go all the way back to the beginning, huh? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. What was that? Oh, apparently I had different ammo? Oh, and I died. Okay, right on. Yeah, I don't know. This game just... Oh, man. Okay, that one's on me. I don't know. Maybe it's trying to be like, I want to be the guy or something, where it's just intended to be frustratingly difficult. Like, I don't know. This is, I guess, why I need game journalist difficulty. How do I dodge that? Yeah, actually, you know what? Sometimes the aiming, like, it really needs mouse aim. Mouse look. Mouse aiming, yeah. Like, how do I... Because that is just at such an awkward angle that I can't hit that one block over there. Yeah, this is like such an awkward maneuver I have to do here, because you push up, but I want to go up, but I don't want to aim up. I want to aim to my right, but I need to push up so I can jump up and dodge up, and then Yeah, like... What? This is so... There we go. And that did nothing. Alright. Did I want to like create... Did I want to create like some sort of platform to cross out of those blocks? Did I not want to destroy them? Oh, then why did they put the platform in the background? That made it look like that's what I wanted to do. That looked like my goal. I thought I wanted to clear the blocks. And so there's like no, like I fucked up, right? Or do I just have to do a leap of faith here? I don't think so. So, and because I fucked up, like, my punishment is, like... they don't, like, come back or anything. So it's basically just... I just have to kill myself and retry and redo all of what I just did. Alright, we're gonna go for the leap of faith. Fuck. And there's no aim down, so I can't even shoot down at the Yoshi down there. This game really needs mouse aim. That was my last one. He's just gonna stand there now, huh? He's not gonna let me, he's not gonna start wandering. Alright, so I have to... No! Oh my god. No, no! Oh my god, I hate the aiming in this game! Can I still make that? No! Oh! Okay, maybe I can still make that. Alright, I can. That is so unnecessarily punishing. Is this a boss? Can I just ignore this? Apparently I can. It's the end of the demo. Alright. Yeah, I'm not playing that again. Yeah. We're gonna stop the timer. We don't need the full 35 minutes for that game. Yeah, okay. So... that game needs some work, I think. I mean, if they... I don't know. I feel like maybe there's still an audience that wants to play I Want to Be the Guy. I don't know who that audience is, but perhaps they still exist out there. I feel like the days of frustrating platformers is pretty much gone. I also think there's not much of a market for aggravating, frustrating platformers
I don't even think that's what the intent was for this game either, because it feels like that's not what it's trying to be. It's just not very well balanced, and the controls are just frustrating to deal with. And the lack of a tutorial, which of course can be changed later. Since this is a demo, I guess it's not surprising they don't have a tutorial at all, but the lack of knowledge from no tutorial, the not very great controls, and just some of the punishing design really hurts this game. But on top of that, it sort of feels like there's not a lot that sets it apart that like makes it special. It just feels like it's another indie platformer, which I don't know how many of those there are. There may very well be just as many indie side-scrolling platformers as there are fucking RPG Maker games. So it's kind of like you're in a tough crowd to stand out. Good luck on that Kickstarter, but you've got to work. You're gonna have to work really hard to sell yourself on it. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm personally not impressed with the game, but yeah, I guess all I can say is good luck on the Kickstarter. I will say, not having even just a rudimentary tutorial is kind of like, that's lame, because I did a beta test with my game that was not intended for a wider audience, and I could have done exactly what was done in that game and just let my folks try to figure it out. But I know that's not a good idea, and so even though my tutorial was not good, at least I put one in there. That tutorial was unique, completely unique to just the demo of my game, because I wanted to make sure that the people who were playing it at least got something. So anyways, as far as grading goes, yeah, it's zeros for the first three, 0 for balance, unique. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's a 0 on the unique identity too. I'm sorry, a side-scrolling platformer. It's like, I think the only thing that you really have is like the shooting mechanic, which I'm not even going to say is like, a lot of side-scrolling indie platformers is mostly just like puzzle platformers. Even with the explanation, it was hard to figure things out. Yeah, I'm guessing you're talking about my game. So just imagine if I had just thrown you in there without any sort of tutorial. I know that tutorial was weak, but I mean, I'm not going to spend hours and hours developing a perfect tutorial for just a beta test that only a few people are going to play. So that would just be a waste of time. So I know it was not a super great tutorial, but I gave you something better than nothing. Anyways, I will say, like, I feel like most indie side-scrolling platformers typically go the route of just being a puzzle platformer, just a you know, a jumping kind of game, and that's really it. So I guess you have a gun, which mixes things up slightly more than the rest, but also a lot of people like Mega Man, and so there's a lot of other Mega Man inspired side-scrolling indie platformers as well. So, you know, I'm gonna have to give it a no on the unique identity. There is something that could be done with the concept of the game. The game is about debugging stuff. So, like, for example, I think there could be something cool, assuming that this is well explained, there could be something cool with, as I was saying earlier, like, I thought there was a jump that just hadn't been developed right, or that I couldn't make it. I think it might be cool if the player was the quote-unquote play tester, and they had to figure out what was, like, not, you know, like, not
implemented correctly, and you have to debug it, right? I mean, live up to the name. If you're gonna call yourself debugger, then you really should like lean into that theme. That's what I say, because as it is right now, like, sure, you have like a video game Code of Paint. You had like Tetris, and there's like, it looks like assets ripped from Mario. So like, cool, you're referencing games, but like that's it. It doesn't do much for me, and I don't think it's going to do much for other people either, in my opinion. So yeah, that one's rough, man. It technically works, and that's the only point you have here, and so that's pretty brutal. So anyways, that's a shame. Let's move on to the next game. So this is definitely another game that's been getting like a lot of attention. That obviously that previous game hadn't been getting a lot of attention. This one has, and previously when I downloaded this game, the comment section was not completely heinous. However, just before the stream, you know, getting all the tabs open in the browser, I noticed that the comment section had suddenly become heinous. So this is going to be another game where we can't really scroll down, so we'll just read what we can see on this screen and call it good. Otherwise, we're going to get my YouTube channel banned if we scroll down. So, Sweeter Yesterday is a horror game made in RPG Maker VX Ace, of course. Of course, that's what RPG Maker is. It's a horror game engine. It's right in the title. It's right in the it's right in the title of the engine. RPG Maker clearly speaks horror. The game shifts from being cute to creepy with an impactful contrast. Sweeter Yesterday is inspired by several other RPG horror games such as Dreaming Mary and Pocket Mirror. Please note that the demo is only about 20 to 30 minutes long. You play as a young girl named Laletta and go on a reminiscent adventure throughout her childhood world, coming across her imaginary friends along the way. Laletta's friends all have aspects of her personality intertwined in them, so when they start to become selfish and insincere or vain and narcissistic, Laletta wonders if these bad traits are present in herself too. So I kind of like that concept too. It's a interesting grounds for it's an interesting grounds for an interesting story, but we'll have to see how that execution goes. The fluffy pink and cute art is what caught my attention, and I imagine it's what caught the attention of all the comments as well as all the spam bots. So, yep. We're going to see what this one's about. It's only a demo. It's not a finished game until the horror twist. Yeah. I'm not really one for horror, especially when it comes to like RPG Maker horror. Not even RPG Maker. I don't want to blanket statement the whole engine to say like only RPG Maker horror. And it's really kind of like pixel art, top down horror that like it doesn't really get me. Really, the only horror game that I don't know has ever like left a lasting impact on me, which funnily enough we talked about just previously in the stream, was PT. Like I said, I didn't play it, but I mean, you don't really need to play it to experience it. In fact, as a game itself, PT is kind of a terrible game because it's so vague. It doesn't tell you what to do. It just like you go in these loops constantly, and sometimes you happen to look at the right thing or stand in the right spot that suddenly something changes in the second loop, but it never gives you any indication that you've done the right thing. So as a game, it's terrible. As a horror experience, it's really one of the few horror games that like, it got me. It is a VX Ace game, so we're gonna have. I tried launching this game earlier, and yeah, it's gonna try to take control of my whole system. It's gonna start minimizing stuff. We're gonna actually count that on the timer though. The time it takes me to get VX Ace to play nice with my computer and my second monitor is gonna count, which doesn't take long. I just have to now rearrange all this shit. And there we go. That's the one that we want. You get the big screen. I get the little screen here. And I noticed this earlier when I had just checked to make sure that the game would run. And yep, one of my first things that I'm not a fan of, I've talked about in the past, is using cute names for well-established naming schemes. Begin is totally fine. That one makes sense. Remember is starting to push it and then forget. Like it's cute. You're theming your games here. Let's stick with common conventions because it can get confusing. I feel like your basic menu navigation is not the time or place to be cute with naming. You can get cute with naming in your story and your world, but menu navigation is really not a good place to get cute with naming. Anyways, this game is a work of fiction. There are a few scenes of violence and grotesque imagery, as well as mature and dark themes not suited for those who are easily disturbed. Please note that this is a demo version of Sweeter Yesterday, and the content warnings are different. Only mild blood warning. Thank you. Imaginary friends are a truly fascinating concept. No cute name, remember that. What are you talking about? My menu is totally fine. Are you talking about Conp? Are you giving me shit about Conp? I discussed this last time. I gave my excuse on it. Developing a personal relationship with someone that doesn't exist in reality. How do our minds even come up with something like that? This type of behavior has been considered hallucinatory or even psychotic. However, it is normal and common phenomenon for children to have. The growing mind of a child is an incredible and creative thing. They have the ability to conjure up an entire personality for a being that doesn't exist. But how did they come up with the vivid characters in the first place? The answer is, they come from within us. The traits of our imaginary friends stem from our personalities in real life. Of course they do. It's only natural after all. In an ideal world where we can create our perfect friends, wouldn't we want them to be similar to us? No, actually. No. I don't want to be friends with myself, if I'm being honest. Also, no. No, I'm going to argue with you, game. No. No, we don't need to live in a bubble in an echo chamber of everyone agreeing with our opinions. We don't need to live in a fucking echo chamber of yes men. No, we don't need friends that think exactly like us because nothing would ever get solved or changed. All of our personality traits get reflected onto the imaginary friends that we create. If you are particularly extroverted, then it is likely that your imaginary friends will be extroverted too. If you enjoy singing and dancing, then it's likely that your imaginary friends will share the same hobbies too. But how do we know who we truly are? Some traits that we don't know that we have can manifest in unexpected ways. Because nobody is perfect. Nobody's personality is flawless. Everybody has good and bad traits. It's just a matter of suspenseful waiting. And then horror! Oh, no, never mind, sorry. And I need a Pokemon to be his eternal friend. I used to have a I used to have a Glaceon. I don't think that made it with me on the trip. Moving so many countries. I don't think it ever made it. It's probably all the way back in America. There's something on my screen. Oh, that's... Okay, I'm crazy. Never mind. Aletta, can you hear me? Are you listening? A voice. Laletta. Laletta. Huh? Oh good, you seem to be paying attention now. The internet has ruined this song for me. Oh. I'm going to continue asking you the questions. What is the song? It's a classic song. I used to know the name of it, but I can't remember. Who gives a shit? Either way, the internet has ruined it for me. Thanks, memes. When did it first start? Huh? When did what first start? Were you not listening after all? It's fine, I'll repeat myself. When did your selfish and insincere behavior start? Is this like a psychiatrist's office? What a fucking cliche. Oh, come on. What a letdown. What are you talking about? So it's gonna be all in her head, right? You're still not willing to talk about it. I guess so. Let's move on. Laletta, when did your vain and narcissistic behavior start then? I mean, I guess we already know it's all in her head because we're talking about imaginary friends, so it's definitely all in her head. I don't know what you're talking about. Laletta, the only way this will help you is if you're honest with me. Do you not realize that I'm on your side? I'm sorry, I'm just really confused. Okay, just do your best to answer me. Laletta, you've always loved cooking, right? I can answer this question. I've loved being in the kitchen for as long as I can remember. I love cooking. I love seeing people smile when they eat my food. Oh yeah, it said that there was voice acting, but I don't know if I'd consider laughter like voice acting. That's just like ad-lib stuff. Yeah, it says voice acting right there. I'm not talking over voice acting, am I? I don't think I am. Gotta turn it up. It's pretty quiet, isn't it? No, it's fine for you. Now I gotta turn up in my headphones. What is it that you like about cooking? Yeah, there's definitely no voice acting here. Aside from people eating your food, what is it about cooking itself that you actually enjoy? Well, I like the act of cooking itself. Playing with the food in my hands is a lot of fun. I see. Now for my final question. Terrible psychologist. What's the point of bringing that up? I think usually a psychologist has a point to make about bringing up hobbies and stuff, right? The floor is so cold and hard. This place is... C, enter space, X, escape, X, shift. They didn't mention anything about arrow keys. What if this is my very first game? I have no idea how to move. Actually, NA skipped the eternal friend step since he found his eternal waifu in Blue Reflection. Look, I love Blue Reflection. You're right about that. But, I don't have a waifu out of... Okay, that's not true. Not an eternal waifu, though. Is her name Uta? See, you can't even call her waifu if I don't even remember her name. Hang on, let's pause the timer. Let's not be mean. I gotta look this up now, and you've brought it up, so now I gotta figure this out. Is it Uta? I think it's Uta. That's her name. Blue Reflection. Tai Uta. It is. Is it? It's not gonna. It doesn't like that I use Thai. It wants the English name. Second light. It is Uta. This one's Uta. She's got this like lost kitten personality that I just. It's yep. And she's brain damaged. But they have to go all fucking anime with her brain damage. It can't just be brain damage for the sake of brain damage. It's gotta be fucking anime brain damage. There's, oh, you're right. You're right. Thanks for bringing that up. Here we go. Here we go. This one's Uta right here. The one on the left. She's got this lost kitten personality. Yep. Brain damage. But, yep. I guess that one's my waifu. Out of all the girls, here's all the girls. And then the original main character, this was in, oh god, what was her name? So you can't really consider them waifus if you can't even remember their name, right? Holy shit. I don't remember her name. Well anyways, main character of the first game, here. She was my waifu for a little bit until Uta came along. There's no Uta here. Where's Uta? Oh. Well, anyways. Wait, is this all the characters? Uta's not here. This is a really low resolution picture too. Who gives a shit? Alright, back to the game. Start the timer. Switch to that one. Okay, alright. Items are not used automatically. Select an item from the inventory to use it. Please use headphones for the best experience. I got you covered. I'm on headphones. I don't know what it means by please use items. Does it mean like, is it... See, when it said items, sorry, RPG Maker, you know, RPG Maker game, I'm thinking in RPG terms. So when I read items, I just thought it meant like healing items and stuff. And it's like, duh, usually in RPGs you need to select the item to use it. You don't just you don't just use it automatically. But now that I think about it, it's supposed to be a horror game, right? So it's going to kind of have like a point and click kind of style vibe. Oh, there's a hello. Whoa, is that voice acting? I guess that's voice acting. That sounds like just like a clip that they probably just nabbed from freesoundeffects.com. I don't know. I'm not buying this as them selling it as having voice acting. This is not voice acting. Having ad-libs, huh? And hello? That's not voice acting. I mean, I guess it technically is. Anyways, as I was saying, if it has like this vague point and click kind of thing to it, then I guess you'd need to select what item to use on certain things. I guess that's what it's talking about. See, I know also there's a lot of like RPG Maker asset packs that like voice asset packs that like do this. I'm betting that their quote unquote voice acting is just one of those asset packs. I'm annoyed with their marketing because it's feels misleading. An empty table made out of chocolate. But I mean, to be fair, we're barely in. Maybe at some point there's somewhere where the budget kicks in. Where the budget kicks in and suddenly there's voice acting. It'd be kind of weird, but not impossible. Just like my game, budget's been used sparingly. So there's not art for everything. There's not Simon's art for everything. We've tried to select the most important pieces and some of the, not just the most important pieces for her to draw, but some of the things that she's most interested in drawing as well. I don't want her to hate my project considering it's a long project, so I don't know what the password is. There's just a floating ribbon. Okay, all right. Do we have a menu? Yeah. No items. Okay. Empty table made out of chocolate. Cozy mugs of chocolate. I guess I'll take a mug. Samples added to the inventory. Still can't go that way. What did this one say? Same thing? Yeah, okay. I don't know. What does it mean by remember? Recollect a memory. Oh, you can load. Again, what I'm talking about with cute names. Don't you start with compy. I've given an argument why it's called compy in my game. But this typical menu navigation stuff here, compy is totally different. You interact with compy. You use compy. It is a core component that you will always be present and in your face from start to end. Standard menu navigation, when you just want to load or quit a game, shouldn't take memorization to figure out. It should be easy and clear to understand how to do general basic menu navigation. Listen to the soundtrack. Okay. This just gives you all of them. Okay, interesting. Oops, I didn't mean to hit that. My bad. Alright, so like this right here. I know what it is now. Why? Bruh. Sorry. Maybe it's a language thing. Maybe that's why. I cannot use those two letters. Especially when I mean, technically, I suppose I can. It's just ill-advised to use those two letters, especially when the main character is a child. That's why it's not those two letters. What? This is, yeah, doing some moon logic stuff here. 8. Oh, do I just need to eat all of these to figure out what the combination is? Oh, do I need to use the item? No. I would not look on Do not. I will explain. Okay? Alright. I will explain this also as best as I can within YouTube's TOS. Sometimes... Sorry to make it sound like I'm talking down to a child. It's the only way I know how to do this within TOS. Sometimes adults like to watch adult videos. We usually use a term that starts with P and it rhymes with corn. Now, adults are able to enjoy consenting plus 18 corn if they want. That's totally fine.
I do too, sometimes, a lot, often. However, sometimes a non-consenting party is involved, who is sometimes under the age of 18. When someone is under the age of 18, there's a lot of technical terms here, but we'll just, for the sake of brevity, we'll call them children. And so sometimes you would shorten that type of corn down to child corn, and is very often shortened to those two letters. And that's why when my main character is a child, I have deliberately chosen not to use those two letters, and I'm not the only one who understands why. If you go look at my thread on my game, I think it's RCX who brought up, he said, I understand why you didn't use those two letters. So he had suggested CFP, but I don't know. I still think COMP is totally fine. It also works for some of the other systems in the game as well as CONBAL. Anyways, we're talking about this game, not my game. A delectable array of chocolate desserts presented in the case. We've gone 2 rooms in this game. I know 6 and 8. That's it. So I don't know. Let's just guess the first letter. Or not letter. Oh, the first one's 8. Sorry. Let's guess the second one. I don't know the second one. And this one's gonna be 6. Nope. Okay. Oh, cool. It remembers. Oh my god, that's gonna make this so much easier that it remembers. We're gonna get it. I'm gonna jump right to 9. Nope. Okay, alright, never mind. Is it 8? Oh my gosh, what? I've tried all of the... Okay, so then I'm clearly not understanding something. So it said the 6th. 6 Valentine's kisses. 8. They've color coordinated these, right? Can I interact with these bears? Yes. Oh, it says I'm thirsty. Didn't I pick up something? I guess they don't want the hot chocolate? Wait, I'm hungry. Samples? How do you use the item? I thought you'd just do it like that. But it's just telling me about it. I don't... Oh, does it want me to put it here? Okay, alright. That's a little jank, but I'll let it slide. There you go. Okay, an unlocking noise was heard, so I guess we can go through here. Aren't the roses pretty? Move. I'm trying to talk to this rose. There's a number drawn on one of the petals. 3. I tried 3. Alright, I'm calling bullshit on that. The dev clearly doesn't want you to just brute force it. They probably have some sort of variable to check to make sure you've done all the shit. Did I? We gotta rewind. We gotta rewind the VOD here. Did I skip 3? Because that's totally possible. I hope that's what happened. I hope the dev is not... I hope the dev is not just trying to prevent you from brute forcing the lock.
I'm not sure why it asks you if you want to take an item. I'm wondering, is there an inventory limit? In which sense it would make sense, because you might want to consider what items you are carrying. But if there's not an inventory limit, then why even ask? Like, just pick it up. Table made out of chocolate, a heart-shaped seat. What a beautiful young lady you've become. Got into a fight with my friend. I'm so sad I don't know what to do. I wish I could cheer up somehow. Pink chocolate. Dark chocolate. White chocolate. Milk chocolate. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the poke everything until something happens game design. Welcome to the Chocolatary. Here we have 4 kinds of chocolate, loved by everyone. Milk chocolate is a safe bet for anyone to like. Okay. Was that just flavor text, or was that actually serving a purpose? I don't know. Passage is locked. Don't have any items. -1 French pronunciation. I'm not in the least French. So, yep. That's gonna happen. The main character's name looked vaguely French. So maybe it's a French dev or someone who has an appreciation for France. Or the French-speaking culture, who knows? Do I just have to move so I can interact with stuff? This is just the poke everything game until something happens. I don't have anything to make the bear happy, so I have no items. Just need to talk to him many times. No. It's not like I have chocolate or anything. There was that other room that I just kind of went in and out of pretty quickly. There's a sprint, right? Yeah. Yeah. I never heard Laletta as a name before. Yeah, it's kind of hard to. I don't know. It looks French, but it kind of sounds like maybe Spanish or Italian. Just kind of weird to say. It looks like this one. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's not. It's not part of the language I have to learn, so I don't give a shit. I can barely learn one language. So I don't care about the other languages. Is there some sort of hint here? Loved by everyone, milk chocolate is a safe bet for anyone to like. A more sophisticated taste, dark chocolate is suited for a mature palate. I think that was misspelled. I think that was misspelled. I think there's 2 T's in palate, isn't there? Hang on. Am I dumb?
Speaking of not being able to speak my own language. That's not what I was talking about. There are 2 T's in palette. But is that just for... Oh, Merriam's dictionary says 1 T is fine. Oh, yeah. I'm dumb. Alright. Palette with just 1 T is talking about the roof of your mouth. Isn't that fascinating? I know you can't see it, but it's fine. I've told you here. No, you don't need to see it. You're fine. Sweet and healing. White chocolate is perfect for comforting people. Unique and fun. Pink chocolate is a great fit if you want to try something new. So either I'm dumb and I'm not... I mean, none of that sounded like a hint to me. I don't want to... I'm not interested in running around every single grid, pressing enter until something happens. What am I missing? I feel like I've touched everything. I mean, obviously I haven't, because otherwise I would have an item or something, right? But I don't, so I'm missing something, but what? I don't have a clue anymore. Like, we got pictures, right? Oh, remembers. Oh my god. So I tried chat. I looked at photos. Like, there's nothing there. Did I forget something in here? Hello? I guess save, sure. Do I really need to poke every single one of these? Like, this is the one that I interacted with last time. So, do I have to poke everything else until I find, like, an item or something? Okay, I've poked all of them. There's nothing accomplished. Why can't I go here? That's weird. Can't go there either. What's up with that? Some sort of weird tile issue, I think? What, you never had strawberry chocolate before? Are you joking right now? I'm at a loss. I don't know. I really have no clue. I don't have any items or anything.
Like, did I miss something? All right. Stop everything. Rewind the fucking tape. Am I crazy? I swear, I had already touched the chocolate before, and it didn't show me anything. We need to go back. Hang on. Stop the timer. I don't care if there's a minute left. All right. Let's switch here. How far back was it? Okay. Here's when I first get into the room. What do I do? Okay, I talk to the teddy bear. Look at that! Look at that! Look at that! I interacted with the chocolate! Alright, so I'm not crazy. So, there's clearly, this is exactly what I thought earlier, right? So, when I tried brute forcing the puzzle earlier, the number puzzle, I must have tried 3. But it wouldn't let me because the dev really doesn't want you to do anything out of order. There's some sort of conditional check that's happening, right? There's some sort of conditional check that is happening, and it wouldn't let me interact with this because it was too soon. But the problem with that is now you have accidentally just led me to believe that this is not something I interact with. Can't leave the stream without getting noticed? Oh yeah, no, you can't. That is a terrible design choice. I think it tells me a lot when I'm pretty confident that I must have put in 3 in the previous puzzle. I'm fairly confident now that I did put in 3, but the dev doesn't want you to do things out of order. So they are so worried about you playing the game exactly the way that they want you to play it that it's probably at the detriment of the player. It's just hurting things. Like if you really don't want the player to access this yet until you've touch the right thing, and then I don't know, you should put a locked door here or something, make sure they can't go there. But then at that point you're railroading the player. I mean, effectively that's what's happening right now already. Is the dev is trying to railroad the player, but they're trying to do it in the background. They're not doing it very obviously, which is just leading to confusion. So honestly, if they're gonna railroad the player, they might as well just make it obvious. Like, I'm gonna put up walls here and say, no, you can't go there yet because I said so. I'm the dev. You can't do that yet. I don't think that's a good design choice. I think this was a really, really poor decision, and I think it stems from a poor idea of trying to railroad the player exactly the way that the dev wants them to proceed through the game. Anyways, we're done with this game. So let's give it a score. Let's give it a score here. And there you go. There's palette. So. All right. So yeah, polish is not getting anything. Accessibility is getting nothing because I don't even think there's an options menu. Clarity also is getting a none. See, it's kind of weird because with a puzzle game, right? Clarity is the balancing. So it's like
Do I mean, you basically you'd lose 2 points for the same thing. Am I gonna be an asshole about it? I kind of feel like I should be, because they are as far as my grading system is concerned, they are two distinct things. So yeah, I'm gonna say it's a no from me, dog. Your puzzles are not balanced because I did what you wanted me to do. I just didn't do it in the order that the dev wanted me to do it in. So, yeah. Unique identity, I'll give it a point for that, though. I'll give it a point for unique identity. So, all right, so that's a 2. Yeah, it's pretty rough. Yeah. I don't know what else to say about it. Yeah, well, I guess it doesn't matter anyways, because the game seems to be pretty popular. It seemed to be getting a lot of attention, so I don't think my opinion is going to mean much. I do hope if the dev does watch this, I'll also always do my usual thing. I'll leave a written review of basically everything I talk about here for the dev as well. So hopefully at the very least the dev reads that, and I will make sure to mention that they really shouldn't try to force the player to play the way that they want them to. Like, I know it sucks if a player brute forces your lock combination, they skip one of the puzzles you spent time developing. I get it, that's kind of frustrating. But embrace it, because I think as a player, that either the player knows what they're doing when they're brute forcing a lock. They know that they're taking the hard way of trying to solve this. And I mean, sometimes it's fun. Like, sometimes for some people it's fun. It makes them feel like they've outsmart the dev when if they were able to brute force the lock in only a few attempts. I think sometimes people enjoy that as well. I don't know. I feel like there's no reason to railroad the player so strictly. Anyways, yeah. We're done with this game, so that's going to leave the last game on the list, which is Atomic Picnic. I'm going to bring this... I can't scroll down, though. I cannot, because the comment section is just garbage. Which is a shame. This is the only game, since, I said that I'm going to be a lot more strict about store pages. This is the only game that I said has a quality store page. We didn't really talk too much about the previous store pages, but you hopefully may have noticed that other than Debugger was the only one that had a pretty meh store page. It was very short, didn't have a lot to show for itself. But the other two games, the two RPG Maker games that we played, Our Long Walk Home, and the previous one that we just played a moment ago, both have store pages that look pretty nice. They have reasonable descriptions, and they even had GIFs. I think both of them had GIFs. So why do they not get the quality store page? Well, again, it comes down to, like I said, you need to make sure that you are providing information in a digestible way. Neither of them used... actually, one of them used... Sweeter Yesterday, or whatever, the game that I was just playing, it did actually have headers for each section of the game's description. But everything on there was just GIFs. It had no stills whatsoever. And I think for Our Long Walk Home, it was missing headers for its description. This description was a little bit too much of just a wall of text. It's not very digestible. So this is the only game that actually seems to have designed the store page well, has really considered the store page. So anyways, that's the only one. I just wanted to bring that up. This is the only game that I feel like gets a yes. And we're going to play it. I can also tell you, I experienced one frustration with this game already to begin with. So this is just like what do they call it? They call it appetizer, but yeah, it says right there pre-alpha. So this is very early. I think this is also on Kickstarter. No. So one thing that I already experienced that was kind of annoying. So it's an online game, and so like I mentioned earlier, I tried launching some of these games just before the stream just to make sure that they work, and I can just kind of get through some of the tutorial stuff and kind of figure out how to play them a little bit. You know, I only spent like 5 minutes or less, not a lot of time, but just a little bit of time to just kind of figure out the game a little bit. And one thing that annoyed me is, so obviously I downloaded this game in advance. I usually download the games I'm going to play on the stream in advance. And because I had downloaded it in advance, this game had received some updates since then. And so when I tried launching the game, what was that? Did it crash? I wasn't doing anything. Well, what was that? It hears me talking shit about it, and it's like, nah, man, you're not playing me. Okay. So that's, okay, point off for technical already, so bye-bye technical. It crashed in the main menu? You gotta be kidding me. Anyways. So what annoyed me earlier was that it won't let you play the game unless you have the most recent version. That makes sense if it's an online game. However, it was pretty annoying that, first of all, you can't even play the tutorial. There's not... okay. Alright, bud. It just doesn't like sitting in the menu. Fine. We're not launching the game, but you know what? I haven't even started the timer anyways. I am starting the timer now, though. We've gone into the menu. So we'll just pretend that we're looking at the menu now, because apparently it'll just crash if I sit there. And anyways, so... you can't do the tutorial, which is not really a tutorial, but there's like a lobby area where you can like practice and kind of get familiar with the game. You can't even do that without updating the game. And then what made it even more irritating was that I updated the game and no one's online. So it's kind of like, why make me go through the effort if it doesn't change anything? Especially if you're gonna be, it's an early build, right? I suspect you're probably releasing updates all the time. And I didn't show this, obviously, because I don't want to show the store page because I can't scroll down, but I do believe somewhere on there they recommend using like itch client to automatically update it for you. That's fine, but I feel like for itch users, that's a very minority of users. Most people are going to be just downloading the exe just raw without the client. So I don't know, if you're going to be pushing a lot of updates, I feel like that's just going to be annoying for anyone who's just trying to play your game, because God forbid they wait a day and you update it, then it's like the thing they already downloaded is useless. I just feel like that shouldn't be there. Either slow down the number of updates that you do so that way people can have, I mean, I'm assuming that's how it goes. I could be completely wrong. I don't know, who cares? I don't like that update system. I guess I kind of understand why it's there, but I don't know, it just leads to frustration. Anyways, I have no idea how any of these weapons perform. Last time I selected a shotgun, but I didn't even play a match. I just kind of doodled around in the, yeah, see? There's no one here. I don't have a room code or anything. No one's here. I'm wondering if this is like a server selection, but there's nothing here. So, anyways, last time I just created a room. I used the shotgun, but I didn't play any matches. It's just gonna go into this like little lobby space here. There we are. Oh, that's. What's going on? So all of these are random. So reading the store page, this is supposed to be kind of like what is it called? Vampire Survivors kind of style game. I don't know, horde shooter. with roguelike elements or something. Sure, we'll do a purifying area. So anyways, just in the playtest area, when I was playing earlier, the jump feels wonky as shit. Like you have this like floaty upward momentum and then suddenly just drop like a rock. It doesn't feel very good. The other thing I noticed earlier when I was playing is that you have some pretty good speed just running around. So what sucks is when you start shooting, your speed drops so much. You slow down way too much. We'll see how this works in game, but I feel like that is not going to feel very good. This with you have this like grappling hook thing. Like it feels like there's a lot of momentum with the game, and for you to slow down just feels like kind of a contradiction. So, survive the picnic for 10 minutes. Alright. Okay. I wish it'd give me a little bit more time to read those, especially as a new player. Like, I can understand it going quickly for people who've played for a while, but especially as a new player, not knowing any of those upgrades, like give me a time to like read the description so I can actually make a choice. That all looks like placeholder assets. Guess we'll just do that. More damage is always nice. Sort of wish there's some sort of music or something. It's got like this, you know, futuristic aesthetic, kind of a anime. Feels like it should have like some sort of like Jet Set style background music. I didn't even read what that was. It's also another problem with streaming is that in the middle of talking, I can't read I can't read and talk at the same time. I don't, what did that do? Okay, alright. Yeah, I don't know. The game looks cool, but especially without music, this feels... There's like not enough excitement going on. This is just kite the enemies around. Yeah, right? Sure, get some health recovery. Oh, okay, he just spawns right there. Alright, well, at least now there's some difficulty. Yeah, and it'd be nice if I could, like, get a chance to read the shop. What is this? Random upgrade. Proc chance. I am busy! It's so annoying. I don't know what Little Mac is, other than the Smash Bros character from Smash Bros and Punch Out. Oh, is it that boss? Is that Little Mac? Energy efficiency, fire rate, sure. I don't know what 20 what. Oh, is it that thing at my top left? So I guess I need to find these crystal things. That give me some health. Okay. Yeah, Smash Bros character. Smash Bros and Punch Out. Why was there just a random health bar there? Alright. Feel like I found a good cheese here. Alright. Now that I've got a bunch of stuff, we can get fire rate, and we'll just do a random upgrade. There we go. Yeah, I should have picked a long-range weapon. Apparently he doesn't know how to deal with this. Man, I don't need your sass in that order. Get out of here. Whoa! Thrilling gameplay! Oh, yeah. I wish there was a way to, like, manually start the reload instead of just waiting. Alright, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go collect some stuff. I'm gonna leave them at that, like, 1 point. Collect some more of these gems. I wonder if the enemies, like, do they scale the number of enemies based on the number of players? Because, I don't know, I mean, there was kind of a moment where I was starting to feel a little bit overwhelmed, but at the same time, this map is so huge that it makes me wonder. It makes me wonder if that maybe there'd be more enemies if I had, like, people in a squad. So here's the thing too, right? 'Cause if I can keep refreshing this store, and these things seem to respawn, I think. So that seems like pretty easy to exploit. I'll just collect a bunch of these little money token things. Let's see if the maybe the economy will get, like, scale. As you buy more stuff, things will get more expensive. I would hope so, because at least that would prevent you from doing exactly what I'm doing now. Because it seems like these little crystals just respawn. So I could just infinitely mine a bunch of these things, just collect a bunch, and then buy a bunch of upgrades. And it seems like enemies are not spawning while the boss is here, so I'll just collect a bunch of these, get a bunch of upgrades, and then go into the next round feeling powerful. Hopefully they have some sort of way to stop this, right? Ooh. I don't know what proc chance is. Energy efficiency, maybe. Renew shop. What is that? Health bonus? Oh, it was more expensive. Alright. I don't know if it was just that one item that was that expensive, or if all the items are now that expensive. If that's the case, then at least it sort of prevents me from cheesing this. Can the boss even figure out how to get up here? No, he's just stopped there. Doesn't know how to deal with this. Yeah, should also probably figure out the boss's AI. Probably giving the boss a ranged attack would help too. In the event that the boss can't figure out how to get to the player, at least, you know, they could at least still attack. Actually, it seems like the boss is not even moving at all anymore. Like, it's just given up completely. It's just like, I'm done with this. boss isn't moving at all now. So now I can just farm without any trouble. I can finally like take time to read the descriptions on the things. Alright, did they increase all the prices or is it still 20? No, okay, alright. They did increase the price on everything. Some of the things. Alright. So let's get this. Cooldown reduction. I'm assuming it's talking about the cooldown for my little grapple move. Although I'm not completely sure. That still looks like a pretty long cooldown. Alright. No. Alright. This is thrilling gameplay. I could probably just do this all night, but in the effort of not making the stream absolutely boring, I'm gonna go buy the last upgrade and then just move on. This upgrade, no, not that one. It's this one, right? Energy efficiency. I don't know what that means, but it's cheap. So we'll just go with that. Alright, now I'll go take care of the boss. There he is, just giving up on life. And he's dead. Let's do that, I guess. Fire rate and damage? Okay. I guess that one? I don't know. Alright, I also got a bunch of gems for that. Do I get a chance to buy? Oh yeah, there's a peacetime, but it's so far away that I'm gonna spend all this time just walking back to the truck. Let's renew the shop. Cooldown reduction. Oh, wait, what else is there? Proc chance, energy efficiency. We'll do that fire rate. Oh, okay. Alright, there we go. Enemies doing something a little bit more than just needing to be kited around. Whoop. What is that? Oh, there's something hiding in the tree. Ah, fuck. Yeah, I'm kind of regretting my choice with the shotgun. Oh my god, just walked into that.
Get some health. That'll work. Okay, couldn't get away from that fast enough. Alright, get out of here with that. I don't know this. I kind of like the upgrade stuff. I mean, I know it's just typical roguelike stuff. It's not like super unique, but I kind of like it. I see like promise in this game, but right now, like I know it's alpha, but man, is it feels kind of just like it's not that exciting. Maybe it's the gun I chose, I don't know, but it's just, especially like these little like spider guys, I think are some of the worst enemies, because it's just, they're really tanky. It's insane how many shots it takes, especially with how many enemies there are. Like, there's so many enemies, but but it takes like 5 shots for one enemy. And so I'm just spending most of this time just like kiting them backwards, and that's not fun. Also, the audio is going all jank right now. What is happening to the audio? Little Mac is back. See if I can get him stuck over where I got him stuck last time. Oh man, I whiffed that. I got 2 of them stuck there. Oh, whoa, there's a dodge. How did I not know that? Yeah, he brought all his friends. Chance to shoot a volley of bullets towards the enemy. Sure.
I think part of it is also they're just... I talked about it with the Eon Fighter game that I played last time, and just like roguelike games. There's that tendency to make you start off feeling like garbage, and then eventually building up into feeling like you can kind of do something. You feel normal, you feel competent. I think there's a lot of that going on in this game too, that obviously I don't like. I know that's just par for the course for the genre, but still, I do think that how damage spongy the enemies are really sort of just kind of sucks. Random upgrade, energy efficiency, fire rate, proc chance. Guess we'll go with fire rate. Which one was that? That's proc chance. Fire rate. Can I still afford this one? It's 80, isn't it? Yeah. Alright. Well, just like before, just wander around, picking up things. Collecting these things. I don't even know where the third one went, now that I think about it. Unless there's like 2 health bars on top of each other. It might actually be that. Kind of looks like there's something funny going on with the health bar on the top there. So maybe they're both stuck. Or all of them are stuck. Which, by the way, I can't believe they've upped it to 3 of these guys. Speaking of damage sponge enemies, I'm pretty sure if I started chipping away their health right now, the timer would still be up before I even finish killing all 3 of them. I bet the timer would be up before I even killed one of them, honestly. Let me go buy this upgrade and then I'll start chipping away their health. It'd be nice if it would tell me what random upgrade I got. No, oh my god, I didn't mean to fall. Holy shit. There we go. Damage while full health. I don't know. Put them inside my purifying ring. Oh, and the game crashed. Nice! Alright, not even gonna launch it again. Timer's almost done. 2 minutes. Whatever. Okay. Man, I wish they had at least one song in there, because boy did that feel empty and lifeless without some sort of background music. It's kind of similar to what I was saying with tutorials a moment ago. Like, even if it's a beta, I mean, at least put something in instead of just leaving it blank, you know? Like, it doesn't even have to be the final music for your game. You could probably find some pretty good royalty-free music to go along with the game. And that doesn't have to be the final music, but at least you got something there, right? Like, I feel like some sort of good drum and bass thing would be great for that. Or jungle beat, like, I don't know. So let's just look up royalty-free Drum and bass. Beat sweet. Wait. Here, let's just do that. Hang on. Oh, shit. Let's just do this one. What's this? Like this right here. First one that comes up. It's a little bit, the vibey guitars and maybe a little bit too spacey, but you know, I would still say this is better than nothing. Maybe we could get something a little bit more higher energy. So how about this one? TikTok? Not that TikTok? Let's skip forward a little bit. Is this drum and bass? This doesn't sound drum and bass. Oh, there it is. Like, I think this would be totally fine. Royalty free. I'm not a big fan of what I'm hearing so far. The mixing is kind of wonk on this, from what I can tell. But again, like, we're just talking about having placeholder, right? I'm not even talking about, like, this doesn't even need to be the final. This doesn't need to represent your fucking soundtrack, like the final soundtrack. It's just something so that way it's not dead silence and feels like there's no energy in the game that you're playing. What else? What's this one? Stardust. Just jump ahead a little bit. Yeah, this one's kind of weird, but you get the point. Anyways, my point is even if it's a demo, like, having placeholder stuff is better than having nothing there. So I don't know, like, and especially if you're worried about people getting sick of hearing one song, I don't think it's too hard to throw in a volume slider for music. So you just throw that into your options and bam. You got something that I also think it would help sell your game more. I think music doesn't get a lot of credit for games, but I really think music makes a huge difference for games. Like, I think a lot of people's favorite games would not be quite as much of a favorite if it had no soundtrack or an entirely different soundtrack. Like, you know, the Dark Souls soundtrack is pretty much iconic at this point. And I wonder how much of a lasting impact Dark Souls would have had. Or a randomizer with multiple musics. Yeah, in fact, speaking of, I'm pretty sure that's what Eon Fighter did. Because I got copyright claimed. It was all royalty-free music. So it's not like it started running ads on my video when I did Eon Fighter. But it did alert me that those songs were matched with the database. And what it did show me is who the artists are and what the songs are, and that showed me that it's just a selection of different various royalty-free songs that are just played randomly. So yeah, you can have a randomizer just play different songs. At least it's something there instead of just dead fucking silence. So what are we gonna do here? There's not really an options menu, so no accessibility. Clarity, it doesn't really have a tutorial. Balance, everything, yeah. Like, this is really, really beta. Because, like, everything felt okay. So this is kind of unfair as well. Things felt really, really damage spongy, but it's clear that they want you to play in a squad of other people, and I was just playing by myself. I'm going to not give them the point for balance here because you know what other game is also built for squads? Borderlands. And it can get balancing just right with if you play solo. I know they kind of do scaling in Borderlands. They scale the enemies based on how big your squad is. But I do really think that you could make them not so damage spongy when you're just playing by yourself. And considering there are no other people playing, here's the thing too, right? It's a demo that's trying to sell people on their game. So here's where my argument comes in, right? You have people who want to check out if they want to support your game's future development. They download your demo, and since there's no servers online, no one else is playing the game, they download it, they see no one else is playing the game, they're either going to peace out, which sucks. You can't really do a lot about that. Although I suppose you could add, like a single player button, which I think would be good. That would address one of my other criticisms I had earlier about having to re-download the game, even though I downloaded it what felt like just a few days ago, because your servers blocked me because I didn't have the most recent version of the game, which is just annoying. So if you had just a single player button right there at the front, that means anyone who downloads the game and sees no servers online will just be like, oh, well, I'll just hop into single player and see what it's about. I feel like there's a higher chance of people seeing no servers online that they just peace out rather than create a room themselves, right? So having the single player button there may technically be the same as creating a room, but it's more inviting that way to anyone who doesn't see anyone online. And then, also, here's the other reason why you want to balance it more for single player as well, is because if there's not enough people playing online for a full squad, then what they're going to experience is the single player experience that I experienced, where enemies are way too damage spongy, which doesn't feel fun, and then so they don't like it, and then they leave. So this is why I would say focus more on making sure that it's probably more balanced towards single player for right now. I get that it's a demo, so I don't know. I would just say if the demo is trying to sell people on your game, so I would try to present it in the best way, in the most accessible way for as many people as possible. Like, it may, the final product's intent may be squad-based shooting, but right now you don't have the audience to support that. So let's try to support what you can get an audience for, which is going to probably be the single player part. Single or small squads, 1 or 2 people, because maybe someone will say, hey, I found this free game on itch, let's give it a shot. And so it might be 1 or 2. Okay, OBS disconnected for a moment, but it says it's back. Did that fuck with the YouTube stream? Okay, I had paused the stream earlier when I was rewinding it. So I don't know, but it says the connection is excellent, so I guess it's okay. Anyways, Atomic Picnic is certainly an interesting name, so I'm gonna go ahead and give it a point for a unique identity. But unfortunately, it loses technical points because not only did it crash anytime I just sat in the main menu, but then also it crashed at the end of my run. So, yeah. Yep. So I think that game has a long way to go. But it was not bad. All right, so we're going to end off this stream, and I'm going to say, before we end it, that I do feel like these games that I've picked are a little bit higher in quality than some of the previous ones that I've played. It's 3 hours. You're rounding down when we're at the top of the hour. Bottom of the hour? I think it's technically bottom of the hour. Whatever, who gives a shit? we're at the nearing the end of the hour. Yeah, and that's because Debugger was kind of cut short. Do you want me to play one more game? Do you want me to stick around? Because believe it or not, I anticipated one of these games going wrong. So I actually downloaded a 5th game in the event I needed a backup. So if you want me to stick around for one more game, I have one more game that I can play if you want me to. It's not an RPG Maker game. I mean, I still have beer left, so it's fine. Although it's kind of room temperature now, so it's not the greatest. I'm getting impatient. I'm gonna say that I think this is probably actually honestly a good spot to end the stream. Because I don't know. I feel like, so you can wait some weeks. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah. So, but I do feel like this selection. Network isn't that good. I guess you're loading a lot or something. Who knows? But I feel like this selection was better. We've made some improvements here. We broke some ground in the development of my streams. So hopefully maybe my selection next time will be better. One thing I did notice, just by the way, I don't know, just off the cuff here, when I was downloading these games. When I was looking at RPG Maker games, this is also why there are not that many. There's only 2 RPG Maker games this time. There are not that many that have been uploaded since my last stream. That really looked interesting. You know, there's a ton of these like RTP games. I bet I could probably even find one. If we just go to here, games. Windows, free, RPG Maker. And if we do the, we need to go by most recent. And if we do this, I don't see any of them. Wow, okay, did they get taken down or something? Maybe they got taken down. Here's one of them. So like there's a bunch of these that have like it's usually a Spanish title and using the same like background RTP art with the tower in the background. I saw like 4 or 5 of these earlier when I was looking for RPG Maker games. I don't see them now. Am I just glossing over them, or did they get removed, or did they change the art? I don't know, but there's a ton of those. Anyways, there's a lot of games that, you know, some of them look kind of vaguely interesting. I think one of the games I was thinking about looking at is there's a couple of different games that looked almost interesting. Like I almost downloaded them, but then decided not to. Was this one of the ones? Like the artwork is kind of striking, the black and white and red. No, I didn't. No, I didn't go with that one. Nope, just kidding. This one, I've seen this person around on the forums. I recognize the art, so I was kind of vaguely curious about this one as well. So I almost went with it. But it's like super early in development, and so it's just like I I don't know. It always feels weird to review a game that's so early in development. I mean, if they specifically ask for feedback, then obviously that's different. But for me to just off the cuff, just randomly review a game that's so early in development when they didn't ask for it, I don't know. It's like I'm going to be critiquing things that either they already know or they don't care about, or things that they already know need to be fixed, or whatever. I don't know. It feels kind of like a waste of time. Hey, that one's familiar. I know that one. Oh, and that's what you're saying. I know that one. So I don't remember. There's another one. Was it this one? No, I don't think so, because I don't remember it loading in the browser. So, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyways, point is that there's, like, not that many games that, like, looked interesting for the live stream for RPG Maker games. Like, if we start scrolling down here, you'll even see somewhere, yeah, here's Stay at Home, which is one of the games that I played last time. So you can see there just hasn't been that many that have been uploaded since this stream, which is funny because it's been a month. So yeah, I'll probably have to I might start looking at like some of the previous people that I've reviewed in the past. Like before, I looked at Faded Blue developers' previous game. So I might go to some of the developers that I've reviewed in the past and check out some of their earlier works or new works, depending on whatever they have. Or I don't know, maybe just browse new releases in the RPG Maker forums, because sometimes they don't upload them here. I don't know, but I might just scroll way back here on itch and see what I can find. Yeah. Anyways, for now, I'll figure out what to do next time. But for now, that's going to be it for this stream. But I feel like the selection was not so bad. Like I said, I feel like we broke some ground with this stream. We'll see how it goes. Next stream, I don't know what I'm going to do. Next time is going to be like New Year's, right? Holy shit, it's New Year's Day. I'll probably do a stream on New Year's Day. It's actually an important holiday here, but I don't have anyone to spend it with, so I'll probably do a stream there. I'm also on winter vacation, so I don't know, maybe I'll throw a stream in somewhere in the middle. Maybe. We'll see how I feel. I haven't been able to do a lot of work on my own game lately, so yeah, maybe I just won't stream, because instead I'll want to focus on my own game, since I'm gonna have some time to do that. Well, I don't know, we'll see. Whatever. Alright, thanks for watching. We'll see what I do next time, and that's gonna be it. So until then, have a good one. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, whatever holiday you celebrate. Hope it's a good one. Spend some time with family and friends. And that's gonna be it. Thanks so much. Bye.